Nigga, I remember it was a baseball field right down the street from where we lived at, and my older cousins, my cousin Dick, my cousin Pooh G, they was GD. But they was like young GD, they was like young, like probably shit, 13, 14.
Damn.
You see, a lot of people start young up there, like real young.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget this day, nigga. We riding our bikes to go to the little down baseball field. Nigga, they had that motherfucker occupied. Nigga, the GDs had it occupied. And when I say they stretched across the whole field in formation, it looked like some military shit, boy.
What?
Man, I kid you not, boy. I'm talking like hundreds of niggas out there, boy.
Guess what? Yeah. You know, we back with another one, man. You know what I'm saying? It's inevitable, baby. I told you. We back with another one. You know what I'm saying? So who we got in the building?
Chief Vez.
Yes,
my alias, Chief Vez. Short Vez, though, for the ones you know me well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So, you know, it's two sides. So it's Missouri and it's Kansas, but you know, we all love each other. But yeah, it's two sides though. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't know that. So deciding
here, Twin Cities.
Okay, boom. So you from the other side, Wyandotte. So left for the people, you know what I'm saying? We trying to know like, and now you stay in Missouri. So it's like, what is the like kind of the difference between to you from that side to over here? Like you know what I'm saying? Like what's the
the population, that was the first thing that come to mind, the population and how small it is over in Wyandotte versus being in Missouri. And shit, my first time riding the bus, nigga, was riding through Missouri, fucking around with my daddy.
Straight up.
Yeah, I had never been on a bus in Kansas City before, but you know, fucking with him, I like, okay, I see how big this motherfucker is. Had me all the way outside for the first time on a damn bus.
Yeah.
So,
right there,
yeah, that's one thing I noticed for sure.
So let the people know, you know what I'm saying, a little bit about yourself, you know what I'm saying, from before you even came to Missouri and Kansas, you know what I'm saying, before you came here, if I know it's a backstory to that.
Right, so I was born in Wyandotte. I was born in Wyandotte Bethany Hospital.
Okay.
I don't know if it's still up or what, if they shut it down or what. It ain't up no more, is it? No. Yeah, so there's like dental offices and all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So my daddy, I got a brother, but he passed, my brother Carlos. But my mom found out that my daddy had a baby on the way while she was pregnant. Well, I think Carlos had been born already.
Right.
So she found that out probably about 1 going on 2. So she like picked up everything and left and went to Chicago.
Okay.
And I stayed in Chicago for like 14 years. So that's how I ended up there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I ended up in Chicago. But my granddaddy, he met my grandmother in Chicago. So that's kind of how our family up there is even there now. That's kind of where it started at.
Okay, so you still got family in Chicago.
Right. Right. Yeah. So that's kind of how that's how the whole Chicago story started. But yeah, my granddaddy was in the army. I think he was stationed here. Yeah. That's how we ended up in Kansas City. So that's how I got this whole Kansas City Chicago connection. Okay. You see? So yeah, man. But that Chicago, something else. So even though we all Midwest, it's some real big cultural differences though.
Yeah. Okay, so
you know what I'm saying?
Let me know a little bit, because I watch a lot of Chicago stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and what they got going on. But see, they a little younger, so I'll be looking at it a little different. But
right, because you looking at the Chicago how it is like right now.
Right now.
Right.
But before that,
like in the late 80s, early 90s, it was way different. To be honest, there's a lot more structure going on back then in Chicago. Okay. And obviously they like locked up a lot of the head honchos, and that's where you get the kind of what they say the renegade era. Right. That's when like all the different sets started kind of breaking up. Like you got the Insane Disciples and shit now. So you didn't really have that stuff like that. Yeah. You feel me?
What's like a lot of Four Corner Hustler.
Four Corner Hustler. A lot of them say they started like breaking up.
Right.
they started tearing down the housing projects and stuff, so they started displacing people anywhere. That's why we got the Chicago that we got, like, right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense?
It makes sense.
A lot of the leaders, is like the OGs, is in jail, dead, and it wasn't really,
Somebody
they say it wasn't no guidance, as they say.
Okay, I get it, and I can see that.
Yeah, and people lost their way.
I see.
And what do people do when they lose their way? They ain't got, you know, there's no structure no more.
Yeah.
Nigga, I remember it was a baseball field right down the street from where we lived at, and my older cousins, my cousin Dick and my cousin Pooh G, they was GD. But they was like young GD, they was like young, like probably, 13, 14.
Damn.
You see? Yeah. A lot of people start young up there, like real young.
Yeah.
So, I'll never forget this day, nigga. We riding our bikes to go to the little down in the baseball field. Nigga, they had that motherfucker occupied. Nigga, the GDs had it occupied. And when I say they stretched across the whole field in formation, it looked like some military shit, boy.
What?
Man, I kid you not, boy. I'm talking like hundreds of niggas out there, boy. Yeah. And I look back at that shit and I'm like, damn, they had that much control. Like the police didn't show up to stop nothing. You know, but that's kind of how it was, though, just kind of paint a picture.
Yeah.
You know, they have meetings outside in big numbers.
Yeah.
You know, motherfuckers.
That the public can see.
Right.
The police.
Right.
Feds coming. It don't matter like
it
that.
Didn't matter. Yeah. That's kind of how it was back then. It was like some real, how the Muslims are.
Yeah.
You know? But the crazy part about it, a lot of the gangs across the country started out of like the Black Power movements.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You right.
The Crips, the Blood Hell, the Crips, it stands for Community Resistance something.
In progress.
In progress, yeah. So after the Black Panther era kind of ended, that's when a lot of the gangs started popping up in different areas because it was initially meant to be like protection for the neighborhood.
Okay.
You see? And that's kind of how Chicago was. You know, Fred Hampton, that's where he was at.
Yeah.
In Chicago.
Yeah, you're right.
You feel me?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so now going forward, boom, you came from there and watching and seeing that to boom, coming to little bitty Wyandotte County.
Big difference.
How was that transition?
Man,
from you like, what the hell?
Right. Okay. So I guess I kind of got a dose of what Wyandotte County probably would be like when I got out of foster home and I was in, I think, my 4th grade year or my 5th grade year. And my mama, we moved to Waukegan, Illinois. So that's like on the north side where all the, rich folks and shit was at back then. I don't know how it is now, but that's how it was back then.
Sure.
So I kind of got a little dose of how, and I moved here, I'm like, okay, so it's kind of like, it's a small town, Waukegan. It ain't really like big like that from what I know. You know, me being there, it wasn't really that big. So coming here, it was kind of like a transition for me. It wasn't really, it wasn't that big of a transition. And plus, I used to come up here every year for the summer.
Right.
You see, I think I was in a foster home for probably about two and a half years. So outside of that, I was always up here.
All right.
Even when I was supposed to go to court, because my mom was trying to get my little brother back then.
Okay.
So I was supposed to go to court, and she had sent me and my cousin Frank. They had sent us up here, kind of like on the run down there.
Yeah.
From the
foster people.
From the foster people, like literally.
She just went and got y'all and took y'all.
She sent us up here, and we was up here for a while, man. Probably about a good 6 or 7 months, almost, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So it was a while. But my little brother was in foster care at the time. Him and my other little cousin
up there.
So what they did was, that stuff was like big business. It still is, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, it was like a real big thing to kind of take your kids for whatever reason.
Okay.
It could be something minute because it's money involved.
Yeah, because back then, that's a dope game. Well, we was on. Well,
right.
So they thought we was going to be, everybody was going to be the one just smoking the dope. And a lot of us got hooked on it. But boy, a lot of us got rich as a motherfucker. Like, well, these niggas get rich. Yeah, now everybody want to run this motherfucking new cars, and we got the latest song, and they fucked the dynamics up.
It didn't matter if you was hustling or doing dope. They was talking to your kids no matter what.
Right.